Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy, and today we're finally going to be checking out the brand new Alolan Vulpix VSTAR. Now, this is actually a deck I've been meaning to cover for a couple of weeks now, but not gonna lie, it's been really tough to nail down a list I've liked in this thing. You know, I've tried Arceus, I've tried Palkia, Kyurem, you name it. Nothing has really felt great until I tried just going all in on Alolan Vulpix VSTAR, and I will actually give a brief shout out to Little Dark Fury. I saw his list he posted not too long ago, thought it was a cool idea, so I've kind of iterated on that and changed a few things more to my liking. So again, just a shout out to him for putting out a pretty cool template to start building upon here. But the Vulpix has the Snow Mirage attack for a water in 2 colors, does 160, and the damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, and during their next turn, you prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by their Pokemon that have abilities. So that means Pokemon like Arceus, Lugia VSTAR, Cramorant, etc. aren't actually going to be able to damage this thing. Now, of course, we do have to worry about good attackers that don't have abilities like Mew, the Regideck, etc. But luckily, we can sort of build the rest of this deck around countering those other sorts of strategies to be able to just wall with this one attacker. And then Vulpix does have kind of a decent VSTAR power for just 0 energy to 70 for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. So you do have the option for like a big one-shotting attack for at some point in the game. Now, before we get any deeper into the rest of this list, if you guys do need any cards to complete this Vulpix deck for yourself, you can check out our friends over at PTCGO Just remember to use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout for a discount. And Rare Candy's patrons not only have early access to this deck list, but also have their own exclusive discount code for even bigger savings. Links to those will be down below in the description. Well, let's get back into our list for just a moment here, guys. As I mentioned, Vulpix is going to be sort of our only attacker in the deck outside of our Drapion V to help us out with the Mew VMAX matchup, but we do still have pretty big supporting cast of other Pokemon here. For our engine, as you can see, we're leaning most heavily on the Burrell for the Industrious Incisors ability, as well as the Radiant Greninja with the Concealed Cards ability. And that's mainly because we don't really want a whole lot of multi-prize bench sitters in play like Crobat V as an example, because we want our opponent to have to deal with these annoying Vulpixes and not just be able to gust around it to win the game. Radiant Greninja also I think is pretty cool too, because of course we are a Melony based deck and we can pitch away water energy in the process to set up that supporter and also draw some cards in the process too. But that being said, I am slightly breaking my rule here. I am still including a single copy of Lumineon V. We really don't want to use this card all the time, but the big issue with Vulpix is that it does require 2 manual attachments to get up and running. So if our only Vulpix goes down, we do need a way to ensure that we can Melony on the next turn to continue attacking, and that's where Lumineon is going to come into play. But outside of that, we would definitely prefer this not to be on our field if at all possible. And our only other Pokemon is just the 1 copy of Manaphy. Doesn't seem particularly noteworthy, but again, guys, we don't want our opponent to be able to play around the active. We don't want them to snipe things on the bench to get around Vulpix. We want them to deal with Vulpix, or at least try to the best of their abilities. But looking at our trainer cards, we definitely have some annoying things going on here. We have the 4 copies of Crushing Hammer in the deck. So we're just sort of a nice mid-tempo deck. We're mainly 2-shotting Pokemon out there, and Crushing Hammer just sort of brings our opponent down to our speed. It makes it that they don't get too aggressive and run away with the game. We also have 3 copies of Lost City. This is going to be our stadium of choice, and it is very good against a couple of the different decks out there that can kind of play around our Vulpix. I think one of the bigger ones is definitely the Regideck, so we need to be able to get rid of their Regis into the Lost Zone and make sure they can't keep using their ability with Regigigas at that point going forward. Also, things like the Lost Box deck, they usually don't play a very high count of attackers. They're relying on things like Clara, like Ornate to just recycle these low counts of attackers. And this is really good against, eliminating those Sableyes, that one Radiant Charizard, etc. Speaking of Sableye, though, another card that is pretty important for the deck is the 2 copies of Big Parasol. This is going to prevent effects of attacks done to our Pokemon. So again, things like Sableye that just place damage counters, they can get around us, or things like the Yveltal that can discard our energy, that can get around us, or even the Amazing Rare Yveltal card that is seeing some play in the Lugia VSTAR decks that can get around our Vulpix. So this is just another way to ensure our opponent has to, get locked down by our deck here. And I think the only other card really to point out here is going to be the 2 copies of Boss's Orders. We're playing no copies of Serena in the deck. I think we're just going to sacrifice the consistency that Serena would normally afford us and just play this since it is a little bit more flexible. We can target down some, you know, specifically annoying Pokemon that would otherwise be hard for us to deal with. So that's going to be the list we are trying out right now for Alolan Vulpix VSTAR. And as you guys can tell, this deck was actually requested to be seen on the channel by Brandon Schmidt, one of Rare Candy's patrons. So a big shout out to Brandon and the rest of our patrons over there for all their continued support. So if you guys want to have your request heard and get your video request to appear on the channel here, like I said, I'll have a link down below in the description today if you guys want to learn about that and help support the channel in the process. But with that being said, let's get in some games and see how Alolan Vulpix is going to do. Interesting opening, that's for sure. We see a Psychic deck box, so if this is Mew, that'll actually be scary for them. Okay, but it's just some sort of Lost Zone deck, so kind of unfortunate we opened with the Drapion here. I don't even know what we do. Like, we... Do we, because we can quick ball for a Vulpix, and then next turn, well, honestly, I'm more tempted to go for Bidoof, but then if they get down Cram, that feels bad. And escape rope us. Honestly, I think I'm going to pass, as weird as that is, guys. Because it's going to be multiple turns before we can attack with Vulpix VSTAR anyways. So, because we need those extra attachments. And if we get down the Vulpix this turn, it doesn't really matter either way. Well, I guess the argument would be on the following turn, maybe we could do some melee shenanigans and get going, but I'm tempted to just save this hand. That way we can play a supporter and better get set up over here. And not leave one of our Pokemon like Vulpix open to, you know, some sort of escape rope play to get swung on before it even has a turn to get powered up at all, so... Let's see what our opponent's going to do. They're already going to pitch Sableye away into the Lost Zone. That's good for us, because we're really not too afraid of the Cramorant. At least not, you know, Temple of Sinnoh also hitting the bin. Excellent. Love to see it. But just curious what they're playing alongside all of these Lost Zone Pokemon. Is this just like straight Lost Box? Is this going to be like Giratina? Is it going to be like the Celebrations Kyogre? Okay, there's the escape rope. So again, guys, didn't want to get down Bidoof in case of this instance. Didn't want to get down a Vulpix so that it gets swung on and just sits there for multiple turns without energy. So, and there's going to be the Colress experiment. So I think our conservative turn one has kind of paid off here. So we see Hisuian Heavy Ball as well. Not a card we see too often in Giratina these days. So this makes me think it is just a normal Lost Box deck. Okay, and there's the Fire Energy. So yeah, that pretty much tells us we're going to see a Radiant Zard in here at some point too. Now we did see them get rid of Temple of Sinnoh. The question is, do they also play Path? Curious about that, but... Okay, so Crushing Hammers aren't going to be too great here. Let's just do this. I really don't like having Lumineon on the field, but is what it is. So let's do this. Do that. Do this. Do we get down the Lost City? That's the thing. I might save our stadiums. Well, in case they're playing more Temple of Sinnoh or more Path or something like that. Because if they like put down Radiant Zard and Path it, that feels kind of sketchy for us. But maybe we just go ahead and do it either way. Let's see. We have two more. We didn't prize any. We'll do it, guys. We just need to make sure we can find energy this turn. I think that's the big thing we really want at this point. I really don't care that we're going to knock stuff out and feed into their Lost Zone. Okay, this is actually a pretty good little situation we have over here right now. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do? We could get down Radiant Greninja. We could also retreat Drapion. Let them attack into Vulpix. That might even be our best play for the moment, because we're not in danger of being knocked out by anything that I know of. So let's just do this, guys. We'll attach over here. Then I think we'll just save this hand for the next turn. It's because we don't want to use the Ultra Ball on Greninja, I don't think. So we'll just go hidden for 10. I know it's not a whole lot, guys, but we got Drapion out of harm's way. That's good. And we can afford to take one hit from Cramorant, because next turn we're going to get the Vulpix out, or the VSTAR out. They're not going to be able to attack us from there. We should be able to stabilize a little bit after this next turn. You know, unless they have something crazy that we just don't know about here, I think we're in a good spot. But we're going to see the colors from them. Let's see what they're actually going to do. Okay, so I'll scoop up net and Comfy hit the bin. That's fine. Escape rope, that feels bad. Honestly, I think I'm just going to feed them the Drapion, if I'm being honest, guys. I don't like to, but I really want to get off the attack with Vulpix next turn. And right now, if they knock this out and we just promote the Vulpix again, we can guarantee the attack with Melanie and an attachment. Whereas if we maybe promote Lumineon, we would need to still attach to the active or find like an air balloon or a switch or something. So they can take these two prizes, and then they might even be able to get another multi-prize KO, but I don't know how they're going from 4 prizes to... Or I don't know how they're going from 2 prizes to 0. We definitely need to find our big parasol, absolutely. Have they used any lost vacuums? That is something I'm curious about, too. No, they have not. All right, so enjoy your easy 2 prize KO, my friend. We're finally about to start playing the game after a million turns. So let's go ahead and definitely Capacious Bucket. I think we just get rid of both. I kind of want to save our stadium, honestly, in case we see another Temple of Sinnoh come down at some point. And I just want to make sure we can remove their Sableye whenever they get them down. Okay, well, Melanie. Okay, Manaphy, we don't really need you, my friend, but that's okay. So we'll do this. We could get down another Vulpix. I guess we could. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Don't know if I'm playing this one correctly, though, guys. It's the first time I've actually played against Lost Box with this deck. Like, an issue is we don't want to overbench here. That's definitely a concern I have. But I feel like I kind of want one additional Vulpix, like, pretty much at all times, just in case. Because I don't know what they're playing. Like, because if they do go, like, if we do get to a situation where they go Radiant Zard attach Path to shut off their ability, that would be really bad for us. So I do want to have a backup attacker in those situations. And honestly, we can still attack with Lumineon B. That's a thing as well. Now, our opponent's hand is massive here. I imagine they're going to get down Sableye. Let's see. They have, what, 6, 7? Yeah, so they can start attacking with Sableye if they want to. Just kind of curious what they, or where they actually put their damage counters. But even still, we're going to knock out this Sableye. They already have a Sableye in the Lost Zone. They could be playing 3. I think 2 to 3 is like a normal count for these Lost Zone decks. There's going to be Serena. Okay. That's cool. Maybe they're just trying to buy a turn here. I'm not really sure. Okay, there's the Scoop Up Net. Okay, so Cram's just going to come get a hit in. I guess that's fine. Oh wait, did they quick ball a second ago and not get anything? Is that what happened? Like, weren't they searching their deck? Or maybe they were using, maybe they were using flower selecting. I'm not sure there. Either way, definitely gonna do this. Definitely gonna do this. How many? Yeah, we have one water and discard, and from there, I don't want to get rid of Lost City, so we're gonna leave that for the moment. This would be our final one. I just don't think we can afford to get rid of it. So I would definitely like Big Parasol this turn. Big Parasol plus Switch would be ideal, actually. That way we could keep the double turbo energy. Okay, Marnie is actually good here. I don't mind going for the Marnie. That's totally fine with me. Just did not want to discard that stadium. Okay, that's fine. So let's just go for the Evolution Incense. And at least this way, this guy is safe currently. It's just kind of a bummer we don't have our big Parasol yet. That's the big card I think we really wanted to see. And yeah, we'll just go for the KO here. Okay, Vulpix, don't really care about that. We can Ultra Ball that sucker away. Okay, Cram's gone. That's got to be all their Crams. More than likely. Most of these decks only play two. They could play a third. Sableye gone. Fire Energy's coming back. Like, I'm pretty sure they're not playing Gate. That's a card we really haven't seen yet. Okay, there's Temple of Sinnoh. Luckily, we're not using double turbo currently, so it doesn't matter too much against us. But we still want to bump it whenever they attack us, inevitably. Getting rid of Echoing Horn, also good. Okay, but they do have the Snorlax, so if they're playing Raihan, that could be sketchy for us. Actually, no, what am I talking about? Snorlax has an ability, guys. And a Vulpix places the ability on itself, right? During your opponent's attack, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon. Okay, yeah, so the effect is on itself here. Now, if it was worded like your opponent's Pokemon with abilities can't do damage to you, or like, if the wording is changed to place the effect on them, the Snorlax actually would be able to hit us, but luckily for us, that is not actually the case. So our opponent is bouncing back kind of decently from that Marnie here. Okay, there's Quick Ball, getting rid of Psychic Energy, that's cool. So, show me the Zard, show me the Sableye. I'm just curious what they have. Okay, there's the Sableye. So they do have... For some reason, I thought they had two Sableye in the Lost Zone for a second. Okay, there's Zard as well. It's cool. Not really worried about that. Pass over to us. Great. Love to see it. So we're definitely searching for boss. That would be ideal here. We only have one left, but so yeah, we definitely do this. We'll save the Melanie. You never know, we might need some energy acceleration at some point here. But if we can boss and knock out the Sableye, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot here. Big Parasol, that's also awesome. So we'll do this. Get down, probably get down double turbo over here. Seems okay. And sure, just go for the Melanie as well. We don't have any other supporters, so may as well use it. Could vacuum. I guess so. I don't think we need to there's anything else we'd want to vacuum away. So let's just do this. Get rid of the Ultra Ball here. And just take the KO. We could get down the Lost City preemptively, but if they play another Temple Center, that would feel bad. We want to save this for whenever we actually knock out their attackers here. So right now, they need a good bit to actually get around what we have going on right now. Well, actually, Escape Rope or Boss would get them there. That way they could get around the big Parasol. But if they can't move the Vulpix, guys, not a whole lot they can really do. They're locked down pretty tight over here. And I think they are down a Boss or a Serena already, because I think they used one on us earlier in the game. Yeah, they've already used a Serena and 2 Escape Rope, but I'd imagine they probably do have at least one of the other still in deck. Okay, there's the Escape Rope. So what do we actually give them at this point? Probably, I'm cool with the Radiant Greninja. Or even Burrell doesn't seem that bad either. That's fine. We have the Air Balloon ready to go. Oh, now if they Marnius at the same time, or Roxanus, that actually would be bad here. But for the moment, and there's the Marnie, yikes. Oh, and they got rid of the Lost City with it too. That feels bad. That definitely feels awful. Okay, but we get Lost City again either way, so that's cool. Okay, there's the Lost Mine. If they're smart, they'll probably just spread behind the Burrell. Okay, that's good. But we have the double turbo, so we can just hard retreat here. So let's just go for the Crushing Hammer. Definitely get rid of it from that guy over there. Get down this thing. Let's see. I think we'll Industrious Incisors first here. Don't want to attach this guy if we don't have to. Concealed cards. Get rid of that. Switch, that works just as well. I guess we may as well do this. And just go for the KO over here on Sableye. We could have used the Boss on the Zara, but it has an ability, so we're not really worried about it. Sableye definitely the bigger threat here. Another big Parasol that definitely would have been good to have earlier, that's for sure. So our board is a little bit beat up here. But even if our opponent does find a way to knock out this thing, somehow we have this guy ready to go. And I don't think they can actually get through 2 Vulpix at this point. I don't think they can Boss Doss either, because we have Air Balloon still in deck too. Yellhorn. Okay, that actually would have been pretty annoying for us. I'm not gonna lie, because if we ever don't attack for like 1 turn in a row, that feels kind of bad. But we can also just retreat, so I guess it's actually not that big of a deal here. Escape Rope yet again. What are you doing to me, my dude? Let's try this again. Go Burrell. So even if they bump this, again, we can just, if they get another Temple of Stone down, we still have Air Balloon, so we can still retreat. So they've got Radiant Zard, another Temple of Stone. Okay, but it's fine, guys. Like I said, we have Air Balloon in deck. We know that for sure. But they're also just going to knock us out, right? So like, knocking this out is not... Oh, but they do play the Mirage Gate. That's something we didn't really see this whole game. Okay. I feel like knocking this thing out is not a winning strategy. I feel like they have to try to deck us at this point. Like, I feel like that's their win condition. Or they have to wait until they hit a Boss or a Serena or something like that to then bring up something else. But they are just going to go for the KO. Interesting. Oh god, my mouse is dead, guys. Hold on. Timer, don't start. Don't make us lose the game. Okay, I have power on my mouse. We're back in it, guys. So just promote this thing. And oh God, I am so sorry, my dude. We are going to bump that Temple of Senna all the way out of here and go for the Snow Mirage. So what you gonna do? Now, I guess you could attach like a twin to Snorlax, boss up Lumineon, take a KO, or even the other Vulpix, but currently I'm not seeing a way out of this unless they have something crazy in these last 7 cards they have access to that we don't know about. But there's the Clara. Where are they going to get back here? I don't even know. I don't think they really had any attackers in there. Let's see. Yeah, just getting some energy back. Don't really care about that. Okay, we do see a Manaphy. We do see a Yellhorn. Okay. And a passive to us, but unfortunately for them, we can just retreat. Right? Because we can just retreat, bring up this little homie over here, and that is going to be the game with the Snow Mirage. So again, once you just like lost a zone or lost city away, all these attackers. All right, we have to start Lumineon. Excellent. That's what you love to see. Well, good news is we do have some supporters in hand, so starting Lumineon isn't as bad as it otherwise would be. But looks like we're going against Mew, which is I hate playing against Mew so much, especially since like the Fusion Strike version of the deck has definitely been the one that has caught back on in recent memory. So let's just go for the Ultra Ball and probably get rid of, well, definitely get rid of Evolution Incense. It's very unfortunate we don't have an energy to attach this turn. So if they get a knockout with Meloetta, what do we actually want to do here? We're not going to be able to attack for multiple turns no matter what, which feels sort of awful. So I think we'll just get rid of the research, because if they do take a multi-prize knockout and go up to like a giant hand size, we can maybe at least Marnie that pump. But with Genesect in the mix, it really doesn't matter. So I think let's just get rid of Mario. We probably just want to see more cards on the next turn. So, and we do have Drapion in deck, so that's definitely good. And okay, so we can get the Vulpix. We did prize a Bidoof, but do still have one left, so that's good. We do have a couple Crushing Hammers. We have both Melanie. Did prize a double turbo, but that's okay. Like, honestly, we can probably win this matchup the more I'm thinking about it without, well, if they're using Meloetta, we actually will need to get an attack off at some point. But luckily, our main attacks that really help us in this matchup don't require energy. So that is the good part about this right now. So let's just pass over to our opponent. If they do knock out Lumineon, is what it is. Honestly, I don't even know if we can come back from back-to-back KOs from Meloetta. If they do get off the Meloetta attack, we would definitely need some Crushing Hammers to go our way to force them maybe to attack with Mew instead. There's the Meloetta, so that feels bad. We just need them to whiff the turn 1 KO, because we're really, like, even though we went first, we're still a turn behind because we don't have an attachment, which is kind of crazy too, because this list plays, I think it's 11 energy plus the 2 Capacious Buckets, so we had, I think, plenty of ways at seeing energy in our opening hand, but okay, luckily they did get some Cram Tails, so hey, we'll take that. We need all the help we can get here. Again, we just need to make sure we can live for a single turn. Otherwise, I think we're going to be just barely too far behind here. So the good news is, if we do set up our VSTAR, we're pretty much guaranteed a knockout on Mew, because things could have gotten a little sketchier if our opponent, like, instead of benching, you know, like a third Genesect, maybe they bench their Oricorio, because then that would mess up our math for our VSTAR power. But since they're playing it the way they are currently, right now we will get a big KO with Drapion and a big KO with Mew. That is the hope. But again, Meloetta is going to be the annoying part of all this first. Okay, do they have the switch plus the Fusion Strike energy in hand? Normally you wouldn't go for the Elisa Sparkle. Oh, okay, so great. They don't have the energy. Amazing, love to see it. So let's just do this. What are we actually going to attack with this turn? That's the next question. I guess we could get a 2-prize KO on Genesect. That's definitely possible. I don't hate that. Like, if there's a world where we can get down a second Vulpix with an energy while attacking with this guy, that doesn't feel that bad, because then our path to victory is, well, we do this no matter what, absolutely. And I think we're just going to research. Let's see what we get before we start thinking too far ahead here. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this hand is trash. Like, we honestly might even be forced to take the 2-prize KO here just to draw some cards. Okay, so we need them to not attack with Meloetta, right? Because if we take the 2-prize KO here, that's actually a good question. What do we actually... Do we mind going through multiple Mews? Yeah, because we take this KO, we want them to promote something else. We want them to promote something we can knock out with Drapion. But at the same time, it feels so bad, guys. Let's just do this. Oh, actually, guys, I think we just messed this up, because what we could have done, we could have actually attached to Luminion and set up for an Aqua Return knockout on Meloetta. That's actually probably what we should have done here. But then maybe they could have played around that by attacking with Mew, so it might not actually matter in the long run. So I guess I'm just going to attach over here. Yeah, because we can actually still make this work, guys. So let's go for the knockout with the VSTAR Power. That's fine. So what we want to do here, our path to victory is we can still boss and take a knockout with the Luminion onto the Meloetta. We can do that, and then Drapion takes the last knockout. So definitely a very tricky matchup for us to navigate here. We did get a little bit lucky they did not have that first turn attack on us. But, ooh, we see V-Guard energy. Definitely not expecting that. Homie, that ain't gonna save you from Drapion V, though, I hate to say. Just really hoping they don't have the knockout on Luminion. I'm actually cool if they knock out the Vulpix. We can live with that all day. We actually, in this, well, do we have to shuffle? Oh, we do. So we actually need a basic here. Otherwise, we just get benched out. That feels bad. Okay. I think here we just go for the Drapion play, right? I think this almost kind of puts us in a checkmate scenario if we can go... Okay, so what do we actually get rid of? I don't think Big Parasol matters in this matchup. Let's go for the Crushing Hammer. Okay. Definitely doing this. Oh yeah, this is actually a pretty sick turn. That Quick Ball completely changed the game here. So let's just go for... I don't even know. Do we have energy in discard? We do not. So I think for that reason, in case we get Roxanne or Marnie, we get rid of this. We grab Drapion. And they have to deal with the Drapion. They can't leave the Luminion. And we have Boss in hand, so let's just do this. And probably Vacuum it, just in case of a Roxanne, because we just want Boss for next turn, right? Because that's all we really need here. So let's do this. Well, actually, we can't Lost Vacuum because Lost Card enhanced Boss. This is fine, though. Just go for the Dynamic Tail. Put the damage on Drapion. That's fine. They're going to knock Drapion out either way, so... Okay, we got Marnie, and we have Bidoof. And we get one more prize, of course. And we have Quick Ball. So nothing really special. Again, guys, we just want Boss for the next turn. That's our game plan. And if they are playing the Elisa Sparkle version of Mew here, we might actually not even see something like a Roxanne from them. Okay, they do have the other Double Turbo ready to go. Again, guys, we kind of saw that was going to be happening. And maybe even we should have put the... Like, maybe we should have put the 60 on Bidoof here. because I guess they do still need one damage modifier to knock us out. Because if they copy Technoblast, they're doing 190, so one damage modifier, they would need that to get over that hump to knock us out, but they haven't played any that I know of. Oh, they played a single power tablet, so it would have been likely they could have had it either way. They had the 4 Seal Stone, so. Now, if they are playing Roxanne or Marnie or something like that, I imagine this is probably where we would see that come into play, because I mean, well, I guess they don't know we have boss, and we haven't actually really played a supporter, so they might still not even like disrupt our hand here. We'll see though. There's the Lost City. Okay, that's cool. And there's the Technoblast, guys. So we have the game, we have the boss's orders to bring up the Meloetta, taking the game against Mew. So this was a really sketchy game. Like, the whole game was super awkward. You can see we didn't really draw through our deck that much here, but we managed to find just enough to scrape by and get that dub. So let's bring up the Meloetta and go for the Aqua Return, and that is going to be the KO. So just enough, doing 100 damage here. Cool. We'll take it. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it today for our Alolan Vulpix VSTAR deck. I do like this card, but I will say up front, I don't think this deck or this card in general is quite where it needs to be. I think the metagame will still need to shift in a way where Vulpix can better exploit it, or we need, I think, maybe some better tools to be able to counter some of the other decks that can counter us. But nevertheless, I do like where this list is at. It definitely has been performing better than I was hoping. Definitely much more so than some of the other Vulpix ideas I was messing with. So feel free to give it a try. But if you guys did enjoy today's content, as always, remember to leave a like on the video. And if you're feeling a little bit extra generous and want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.